Picture this. You finally do the responsible thing. You sit down, open up a spreadsheet, read 3 financial books, and start tracking every single dollar you spend. You cut back on the daily $5 coffees, you stop eating out on weekends, and you look at your life thinking you are finally becoming disciplined, mature, and financially literate. You feel incredibly good about it. But then one day, you look at your overall net worth, or you watch a single unexpected expense roll in, and you realize something deeply strange. Despite doing everything right, your financial situation hasn't actually changed. Your careful, responsible behavior has accumulated a modest cash buffer, but it's sitting there earning a disappointing 0.5% interest. After an entire year of agonizing over tiny daily purchases, you made a grand total of maybe $50 in returns, while inflation quietly evaporates hundreds more right out the back door. Meanwhile, you keep hearing people talk about true financial freedom, sophisticated investment vehicles, and compound growth, leaving you with a gut-wrenching question. Am I doing this completely wrong? Because here's the hard truth nobody likes to discuss. Being disciplined with your household budget is not the final goal. The biggest wealth gap in society isn't between people who save and people who spend. It's between the levels of financial knowledge you possess at each milestone of your life. What you do not know doesn't just keep you stagnant, it actively costs you thousands of dollars at every single stage of the game. My name is Noah. In this video, we're breaking down the exact 8 levels of financial knowledge so you can see precisely where you're stuck, what it's costing you, and the step-by-step path to break through to the next level without risking your security. Let's look at the actual math, because the math reveals exactly why conventional financial wisdom keeps you stuck on a hamster wheel. Most people are taught a very simple, linear equation for financial progress. You work a job, you earn an income, you deduct your basic living expenses, and whatever is left over gets tucked away into a standard savings account. If you want to increase your wealth, you assume you only have 2 options. Work more hours to increase the raw income, or cut back on your lifestyle to increase the savings rate. This is level 1 financial knowledge, and it is a mathematical trap. To understand why, let's run a quick simulation. Imagine you are working incredibly hard and managing to save $500 every single month. By all mainstream standards, you are incredibly disciplined. After a full year of sacrifices, you have accumulated $6,000 in cash. But if you leave that cash sitting in a traditional account earning a standard interest rate of 0.5%, your money generates a grand total of $30 in returns for the entire year. Now, let's reframe this by looking at what inflation is doing simultaneously. If inflation is running at a modest historical average of 3.5%, the purchasing power of your $6,000 is quietly losing $210 over that exact same 12-month period. When you subtract your nominal gains from your real purchasing power losses, your net mathematical return is negative $180. Your disciplined, responsible saving behavior didn't actually build wealth. It guaranteed a quiet, invisible loss. The math changes completely when you shift from a linear savings model to a compounding investment model. If that same $500 a month was directed into a diversified index fund historically averaging an 8% annual return, that $6,000 doesn't just sit there. Over time, the compounding effect means you stop earning returns just on your initial principal. You begin earning returns on your returns. At this level, your money transitions from a static scoreboard of your past labor into an active employee that works 24 hours a day to outpace inflation. If the math is so clear, why do the vast majority of people remain trapped at lower levels of financial knowledge? It isn't because they are lazy, and it isn't because they lack intelligence. It is because of a deeply wired psychological barrier that behavioral economists call loss aversion. As human beings, our brains are biologically hardwired to feel the psychological pain of a financial loss twice as intensely as we feel the pleasure of an equivalent financial gain. When you leave your money sitting in a traditional savings account, your brain perceives it as 100% safe. You look at the digital number in your banking app every morning, and because that specific nominal number never goes down, your evolutionary survival mechanisms feel completely secure. Moving your hard-earned cash into an investment vehicle, even a highly diversified index fund, requires you to accept short-term price fluctuations. To your primitive brain, watching your balance drop by even a minor 2% during a standard market week doesn't feel like a temporary, normal volatility characteristic of wealth building. It triggers a literal, physical fight-or-flight panic response. It feels like a direct threat to your security. Furthermore, we are plagued by hyperloss aversion regarding our past labor. When you work 40 or 50 hours a week to earn a paycheck, that cash represents your time, your energy, and your life. The thought of losing, it feels like erasing a piece of your existence. So, to protect yourself from that emotional pain, you opt for the illusion of safety. You choose the certainty of a quiet, guaranteed loss via inflation over the perceived risk of volatile, long-term growth. This psychological barrier turns your natural survival instinct into your worst financial enemy, trapping you in a cycle where you continuously protect your money from nominal drops while completely ignoring the terminal danger of permanent stagnation. To break through to higher levels of financial knowledge, you have to stop managing your money based on how it makes you feel today and start managing it based on where it needs to be tomorrow. To systematically break through these emotional barriers and bypass the math trap, you must navigate the 8 sequential levels of financial knowledge. Each level represents a specific shift in how you deploy your capital and protect your future. Level 1 is basic saving awareness. This is where you master cash flow, track expenses, and realize that you must spend less than you earn. It is a necessary foundation, but as we've seen, it's a terrible place to stop. Level 2 is the emergency fund architecture. Here, you establish a baseline of security by calculating your exact monthly baseline survival number and keeping 3 to 6 months of that cash liquid. This fund is not built to make you wealth. It is built to protect your peace of mind so you never have to sell your long-term assets during a market downturn. Level 3 is inflation defense awareness. This is the critical transition point where you realize cash is a depreciating asset. At this level, you actively research high-yield savings accounts or short-term treasury bills to ensure your liquid cash baseline is at least matching the current rate of inflation. Level 4 is the automated index allocation. This is your entry into true investing. Instead of trying to guess which individual stock will win, you allocate a fixed percentage of every single paycheck in a low-cost broad market index funds that track the total economy. You automate the process entirely, so your psychological fear of timing the market is completely removed from the equation. Level 5 is tax-advantaged optimization. Here, you stop investing in standard taxable accounts and begin maximizing vehicles like Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, or employer-sponsored 401k plans to shield your compounding gains from Uncle Sam. Level 6 is asset allocation rebalancing. Level 7 is cash flow diversification. And finally, Level 8 is generational wealth orchestration, where your money works entirely independent of your physical labor. The mistake most people make is trying to jump from Level 1 to Level 6 overnight. True financial security is about mastering one level completely before automating it and ascending to the next. If I only showed you the compounding upside of ascending these levels and ignored the friction points, I'd be doing what every biased financial guru on the internet does. They make this progression sound like a flawless, exciting montage where you just click a few buttons and watch a digital graph march smoothly into the upper right corner. But let's be completely honest about what moving up this ladder actually looks like in the real world. It is incredibly boring, intensely repetitive, and it completely lacks any immediate emotional payoff. When you execute Level 4 and Level 5 correctly, you aren't trading exotic cryptocurrencies at midnight, and you aren't hunting for the next breakout tech stock that's going to go up 500% in a week. True, sustainable wealth building is built entirely on the power of boring consistency. You are setting up automatic transfers that pull money out of your paycheck before you even see it. And you're buying the exact same broad market index funds month after month, year after year, regardless of whether the news cycle is predicting an economic golden age or a total market collapse. In fact, the real secret to high-level financial knowledge is that if your investment strategy feels exciting, you're almost certainly doing it wrong. Excitement in investing is almost always a symptom of uncompensated risk, speculation, and gambling. When you treat the market like a casino, you might get a temporary dopamine hit, but you radically increase your probability of permanent capital destruction. True financial mastery requires you to disconnect your investments from your entertainment. You have to accept the psychological reality that building real wealth is an exercise in delayed gratification so profound that it feels like watching paint dry on a cold afternoon. You are sacrificing your ability to spend that money on immediate, visible status symbols today so that your future self can inherit absolute sovereignty over your time tomorrow. To truly grasp what it means to ascend these levels, look at it through a simple analogy. Think of your financial journey like learning to pilot a ship. Leaving your money entirely in cash at level 1 or level 2 is the equivalent of keeping your ship permanently tied to the concrete harbor. When a ship is tied to the dock, it feels completely safe. There are no waves tossing around. There is no risk of hitting a hidden reef, and you can look at it every day knowing exactly where it stands. But ships are not built to rot away at the harbor. And over time, the corrosive salt water of inflation slowly eats away at the hull anyway. Moving your money into automated investments at level 4 and level 5 is the equivalent of untying those ropes, starting the engine, and heading out into the open ocean. Yes, you will encounter waves. Yes, the horizon will fluctuate up and down. But you have built a structurally sound vessel designed to ride those waves, and it is the only way to actually reach your destination. Now, you might be thinking, but what if the entire economy crashes right after I start investing? This is the classic objection, and it comes from a deep misunderstanding of what a market correction actually is. When you invest in a broad market index fund, a market drop doesn't mean your assets have disappeared into thin air. It simply means the global marketplace has temporarily put a lower price tag on the exact same productive companies. If you don't panic and sell, you haven't lost a single share. In fact, if you continue your automated monthly investments during a downturn, you are effectively buying those elite companies at a massive discount. You are acquiring more pieces of the global economy for fewer dollars. The only way you lose is if you let your primitive, short-term panic force you to steer your ship directly into the rocks by selling at the bottom. Ultimately, ascending these 8 levels of financial knowledge boils down to one fundamental question you have to ask yourself. Are you willing to trade the short-term emotional comfort of a stagnant savings account for the long-term freedom of automated compounding growth? If you are ready to stop letting inflation quietly drain your hard-earned savings and want to begin building a structured, automated path toward true financial independence, let me know in the comments below. Which level of financial knowledge are you currently at, and what is the single biggest barrier keeping you from reaching the next one? If this breakdown helped clarify the real math behind your money and gave you a clear blueprint to move forward, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. We drop masterclasses like this every week to help you take absolute sovereignty over your time and capital. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the very next video.